Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Randy, and today I'm going to continue working on the dart that we've been working on for like 11 months. I bought a wing. It's probably not the best way to spend my money considering there's, so much to do, but I did it anyways. Let's put it on. Okay, so before we get started, I went ahead and threw the shade up because it's hot. But I wanted to give a quick disclaimer. Now this Go Wing, it's for a Ford. I ordered this off of Summit. And the reason why I went with it is because it's only like an inch shorter overall than the Mopar standard one, right? But the difference in cost savings was like $180. Like, I'm not even joking. It's ridiculous. So I figured, you're talking a half an inch on each side. You're not going to notice that. The only people who's going to know that it's a Ford one are me and however many of y'all watch this video. So wanted to throw that out there in case you were building an A body and you were, wanting to do something like this. Y'all, you can save a ton of money by just ordering the Ford one on Summit. I'll put a part number up on the screen right here. So the next thing that we're going to do, now that we got that out of the way, is I'm just going to go ahead and mock everything up. This is pretty standard. I mean, you got your little rotating dowel. All you're going to do is put each one in and take your bracket, set your bracket on, and then run some screws in. So let me get all this kind of started, and then we'll set this on the car, start doing some markings and drill some holes. So a little tip for when you're trying to line stuff up. So there's this body line right here where these two meet. You got this where they join, and then over here you got the same thing. So what you can do is just take a piece of tape, put it here, run it nice and straight, so whenever we go to set our spoiler on here, we have something that we can kind of measure against, and it's straight across. It works really well. So let me get this propped up, do a little measuring, and then I'll trace out the outline, and then we can measure for drilling our holes. All right, I lined up the spoiler where I wanted it, and from the center of the post where the threads are, it's 8 1/8 inches from the edge of your trunk lid. So what I'm going to do next is measure the distance I need to go from the face of this tape here inwards, and then I'll make a mark where I got to drill my holes, and then all I have to do is just send the bit through it and then tighten everything up. So I'll map that out real quick, and then we'll drill some holes and see how it looks. Okay, so now I'm gonna get my stud started, and then we'll pop her down in the holes. Hope I got everything lined up, otherwise, be a little sideways action. Okay, so I just realized that after I drilled the holes and then I set my spoiler in, I had it backwards. So let me show you what it looks like when it's actually set in the right way. So let's back up, get you away from it, and then you can see how it looks out, because I think it turned out pretty sharp. So here's from the side. I can't tell you how many times I've done that building this car and trying to record it for YouTube, but yeah, what I did was I had flipped it and drilled my holes, and then I forgot to turn it before I set it down right away. But I think it makes a huge difference. To me, I was, once we added that hood scoop, I kept saying, the rear end just looks like it's missing something. So we decided to go with this. But what I want to show y'all is from the back side. You cannot tell that is for a Ford. You can't. It looks identical. So I will take that $180 saved any day of the week. So now that that's on, let's get back to work doing something else. So picking up where we left off, I gotta finish putting sound deadening in here. Of course, I got a little bit of dirt in here. The Port 15, it is rock solid. So I got allergies is what I got. I got 2 more rolls of this. So this is the work that sucks, but it's got to be done. So let's get it over with. Okay, I gotta do the headliner area next, but since I'm gonna have to crawl in and out of here, I don't want to tear the foam up. So I found some fabric for cheap at Walmart that I'm gonna lay down since I don't have the carpet yet. So let me go grab it and we'll lay it down, and then that way I can kind of crawl in and out of here without tearing this up. Okay, so this is what I went with. I got it from Walmart. It is cheap. It is black and white stripes. It's not gonna look good, but the carpet is gonna go down on top of it. So you're not gonna be able to see it. But it is thick enough where it'll protect this foam. That way I can kind of crawl around. So basically, I'm just going to cut it to fit the best that I can, get it up under the firewall there, and it's just gonna be used to protect the foam. So yeah, Beetlejuice. Let me get this hooked up, laid down, taped up, and then I'll show you the trailer park results that gives us, and we'll continue on. Okay, just hear me out. It's not the worst thing. Now, somebody's gonna be like, that's the worst idea you've had so far. And to that I'll say, it's the worst idea I've had so far. But it's working. I mean, it's just a protective layer so I can get in and out of the car while I need to. And it cost me just like a few bucks for that material. So it'll let me get in and out. I think I'm gonna, I don't know. I want to put the seat back in because it's kind of just sitting on the back of Mark's pickup. But I need to get the headliner up. Let me think. I also bought a new shifter cable, which was painful to have to buy because it was like, after taxes and everything, it was like 70 bucks. But whatever. So I'd like to put that on. But I'd also like to get the seat back in. I got the back seats done also. So those could go in, but they're at the house. I mean, really, all I am is some kick panels, sail panels, package tray, headliner away from the interior being, you know, pretty nice. Using that word loosely. So let me think about what I want to do, and then I'll get back to you. Decided to put the seat in. My knee's hurting, crawling around like that. I'm gonna do the roof next. It's hot. So I gotta try to do this one a little bit better than the floor. The floor really don't matter, there's carpet going on it, but since that headliner has to go on here, I really want to try not to have too much overlap on, you know, on pieces and everything. So let's do that, I guess. So I want to bring y'all in so you can see I got the roof done where the headliner is going to go. Really took my time, tried to make sure everything was edge to edge and everything. So that looks pretty good. Once the headliner's up, obviously you're not gonna be able to see it, but I think it's gonna hopefully try and keep some of this heat from right there by your face from kind of making its way through. So that's the last of the sound deadener for now. Once we put the trunk in, make a trunk pan for it, you know, we'll weld that in, and then I still have a whole roll of that stuff, so we'll do the trunk pan and then the fender wells in that same material, and that's really gonna just keep it quiet in here. But you know, every little bit that of insulating properties helps. So next, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I really need to adjust the shift cable. I need to replace it, but I also need to see about the O-rings for the power steering for the gearbox. There's just a lot left to do. So I don't know, I might break for the day and then tomorrow just replace that shift cable and then go from there. I mean, I got another sander and a bunch of sandpaper. I could start sanding on the car, but we'll see. We'll take it a little bit at a time. So I think for now, I'm not gonna overdo it and go drink some beer. Okay, next day, dug through my shed so I could get all my extra parts that I had when I first, you know, took them off the car and stored them. I got this piece for the rear, for the window. These are for the front. We'll clean these up. So I got some non-chlorinated brake clean. I'm gonna clean those and scuff them, and then I'll shoot them with some of this because that works really well. But I went ahead and uncovered the car and I threw the back seat in. And when I was at AutoZone, I bought some real cheap floor mats just for extra protection until we get carpet. And then I'll probably just put them on top of the carpet. But let's get you in there because for the first time, the interior is kind of sort of starting to look complete, and it's pretty exciting. So let me show you. So there you go. It's, you know, get a little bit of an idea of what it's going to kind of look like. Again, I just put some cheap floor mats so that when I get in the car, if I need to get in the car to move it around or whatever, I can do that without having to, you know, dig my heel down into the foam and potentially gouge it and everything. But we're making some progress. I got to order those still. Got to order those. Got to get a package tray. Got to get a headliner still. But it's kind of finally starting to take shape a little bit. I still got to make the plate to cover that up, and I got to finish up the dash pad. So still a lot of work left to do, but we're getting there. So this is super self-explanatory. These are dirty. I'm gonna take my brake clean them up, use the Scotch-Brite, scuff them up, and then we're gonna hit them with that paint. And there you have it. That's the first real good coat. I'll let that dry a little bit. And then while those are opposite side drying, I'll start prepping these. And then we'll get these painted. And there we have those, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get this picked up and we'll bring it outside and let the sun start doing its thing. These actually turned out, these were in really, really good shape. So once I cleaned them up and scuffed them up, I mean, the paint held and it took, and they look really, really good. I got this fender sanded down, found a little bitty spot down here that was like a couple millimeters big. So that's some fiberglass Bondo there. There was a little hole right there, so I did a little bit right there. While that's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and do another part of the car, probably the cowl maybe. Seems like the right thing to do. And then I'll sand this down, and then we'll get some primer up here, get some primer up here, and then we're just gonna keep working our way around the car for the next probably 4, maybe 5 hours. See how far we get. So, all right, got the cowl sanded. There's a little spot over here that I had to spread just a little filler on. So can't quite do, this is still, it's getting dry, but it's not quite dry. So can't really quite do anything there. Found a couple of high spots on this fender that I went ahead and sanded down. So I'm just gonna keep going and we'll see where we end up here in a little bit. So I ended up sanding some more of this down. There was a couple little blemishes, so I took some filler and spread it up. A lot of that will get sanded down. There was another spot down there. And so far I've only got sanded to about right here, as you can see. They got this silver paint that's on here, and it is just a nightmare to sand off. It's taken forever. So, I don't know, we'll see how much I get done. I gotta start sanding on all this over here, getting it ready, and then once I get this ready, I gotta put some more primer on that panel and this door. I might not even have enough primer to keep going today, so this might be as far as we get on this side, and then that other panel right there, so, or fender I should say. We're getting closer to, you know, the last amount of work I can get done, because this has to sit and dry so we can still tarp this up later this evening. So I still got to sand right there on that corner, and then I did one more coat of Bondo up here because I ended up needing it. So I'm waiting on that to dry, and then we'll sand it down and we'll put some primer on it, and then the same down there. So in the meantime, I'm just priming everything that I can. So we'll give you a quick walk around. So again, don't worry about that overspray. This all has to be sanded. Well, there you have it, guys. I went ahead and sanded that down, put some primer on it. Got the primer down there. So it's kind of cool, kind of looking at the car, mostly in one color, at least from this side. Still a lot of sanding. Once all this primer's on, we got to block it the first time, and then we got to get the high build primer from Eastwood, and I'm gonna do about 2, maybe 3 coats of it, and that's gonna get blocked again before this thing even sees paint. So long way to go, but we're getting there a little bit at a time. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Hope you all have a good week. See you next time.